All right, Miss Bell, would you let the record reflect that 7:07, everyone who we expect is in attendance at the moment, so we will convene the meeting. Meeting will come to order. Let's first have the roll call. Let's do this alphabetically. Mr. Bueller, where are you?
I am here.
You're here.
Fred Bueller.
Helen Henkel,
Here, Judge.
all right. And Mr. Headley.
Here, Judge.
Okay. Mr. McDonald.
Here.
Mr. Martin.
Here.
Mr. Pittman.
Here.
Okay, and Mr. Noak at this end. All right, so we're all present. Very good. Minutes of the last meeting, I understand, were not, we didn't have sufficient time between the last meeting and tonight to generate the minutes. Is that right, Ms. Bell?
I'll check with my officer, but I did read.
All right, well, in any event, we don't have them to distribute this evening, so we'll have to just defer that till the next go-around. So moving beyond that, correspondence from the city official, from the top office on down. Any such correspondence, Mr. Rubino, that you're familiar with?
No.
Okay.
To safely say, I will receive no mail.
Okay, well, that's in a way.
I assure the board members there was no
Very
mail.
happy.
No, there was mail, some.
Judge, there were 41 disclosure forms returned to date.
Okay. With respect to those disclosure forms, did you open the envelopes as yet?
No, Judge, I was waiting for direction for this.
Okay. Well, I guess technically we should address it during new business, but we're on it. Why not just be efficient and dispose of it? Helen's question, as I understand it, with the tone of her voice, is what do I do with these? She had the responsibility when we first started to open up the first batch that we sent out, the ones that we subsequently updated and altered and amended and so on. Do you have any reluctance to continue in that role, opening up?
No, Judge, as long as the subcommittee would then review them after me so that more than myself, as a member of the board, the last time it was Mr. Pittman and Mr. McDonald who also reviewed the forms. And I would think that I would appreciate that occurring again, you know, after the due date of May 16th, allowing the majority of them to come in.
Mr. Pittman, Mr. McDonald, can you honor us with that? Or is it two owners instead of owners, which is fine with it? How about you, Mark?
It says right for the.
All right. Of course, at your mutual convenience, you know, that during the working day, you work it out, call Helen and she'll make the material available.
Whatever's convenient for you two, I'll make myself available.
That's great.
Okay, around your schedule.
All right.
This is after that.
After May 16th, after the due, but in the interim, I will be opening and checking if there's something missing, like a disclosure, like a notary or something simple like that. I will contact the employee to try to have that corrected prior to your review. Is that all right?
Mm-hmm.
And we distributed to all the board members a copy of the disclosure form and the memo that went out to all employees, so we have an extra disclosure form.
Need there be any further discussion on this issue? Are we all satisfied with the disposition? We've put it into the hands of 3 of our most competent board members, so I don't have any reluctance to go along with it. Anyone else have a problem? If not, regard it as an accomplished fact. Helen, you and Mark and Frank then constitute the committee to go through it. Obviously, if there's something that's glaringly absent from the form, you're authorized not to waste the time. These gentlemen just call the person involved and say, hey, you forgot to
Exactly.
name the bank if it's a mortgage, for example, or what have you, which last time we didn't have, but now we offer that specificity. Okay, fine. All right, so that disposes of that agenda item. So far, you're looking good with your short meeting. We're prognosticating that. Just going down this thing in the prescribed order, any applications to amend the agenda in any way, to add or subtract from the agenda that we started with. We've never had it, but I just go through this. Okay. With respect to anything from the chair is happy to report that he's now in Yonkers. Given the nature of the matters before us, I wanted to be here just by telephone. I am stripped of the power of voting, and I didn't want anybody in town thinking ducking the issue by staying out of town. So I'm happy to be here.
Welcome back.
I missed the warmer weather, but that's another story. Okay, so that I have nothing to report of any consequence other than a phone call that I had Mr. Rubino this afternoon, which, as I understand it, followed a phone call from Mr. McDonald. Would you elaborate on that, Mr. Rubino?
Yes, Mr. McDonald had called me and pointed out a provision of the ethics code and what he did.
Would you cite it?
I will, and I'll read it onto the record so that,
All right, okay.
but I'll explain what it is. This section of the code has to do with complaints that are filed against the mayor. In that instance, clearly, because I am appointed by the mayor, there is an apparent conflict. And the code actually has a section which requires me to recuse myself and my office. And I'll read that section. It's section C, 1A-34, appointment of special counsel. In the event that the subject of an ethics violation, complaint, and that's what we have here, investigation or advisory opinion is the mayor, a deputy mayor, the mayor's chief of staff, or the corporation counsel, then the corporation counsel shall recuse himself or herself, as well as the entire office of the corporation counsel.
Notice the word shall.
And that's the pertinent section that
Not may.
requires me to recuse myself from the meeting.
Well, so the portions of the meeting that go towards what would be the...
Well, because this agenda only has those 2 items on, it would seem to me that it would be this meeting, but
Well, I have one item, I don't know, because new business came after old business, and I don't know whether it's new business, but...
All right,
kind of,
don't worry
we
about
put
that.
ahead, just for purposes of me asking this question, Judge?
Sure, go ahead.
It's just an update on the subpoena that was served and the response going out and what...
I know nothing more about it other than the letter that was sent over my signature.
we have been handling it in the Corporation Counsel's office. As you read, the paper was accurate. There were no records on file of any filing, and we notified the United States Attorney of that fact in writing. So we have a letter actually, Judge, which would ask you to sign.
The only reason I raise it is because it's probably worthwhile. It's not a big deal. Since I think this